Hey, what's up, baby bards? I'm Anne Richmond, aka Heartsinger, the head bard in charge around these parts, and today I'm going to be reviewing Beadle and Grimm's Tal'Dorei campaign setting Reborn Exalted tier box. That's right, I put an egregious sum of money on the line to get all of the things, and now we're gonna decide if we think it was worth it. Now, I like to take on these investigations myself because I know how easy it is, especially as a dungeon master, to dump a ton of money down the terrifying maw of our hobby. It's hard to know where to draw the line on spending, and honestly, I just don't. So, yeah, that's right. It's your girl, America's favorite little consumer, Heartsinger Games, Yachizity. So these Beadle and Grimm's boxes usually come along with the release of a new D&D campaign, or in this case, the Tal'Dorei campaign setting Reborn from Critical Role, and I normally have a hard time committing to them because I don't know if I'm actually going to be running that campaign. This one just happened to line up with me planning to run a campaign in Exandria, so it was the perfect time to check it out. And inside these boxes, they're typically maybe pieces of jewelry or currency or versions of magical items that are integral to the plot of the campaign, as well as beautiful combat maps and city maps and artwork, just all sorts of things that are supposed to enhance the engagement with sort of a more cinematic version of your story. Now, while the book is available from Darrington Press for $49.99, you can buy one of these boxes for between $249 and $349. You can guess which one I did. I'm a sucker, and it's fine, because it's for the people, it's for you. The question is, does that extra $200 to $300 make the game more epic, more real, and more fun as promised on the Beadle and Grimm's website? So while I dove in at the most expensive tier, you do get quite a lot from the Arcane tier, the $249 version of this product. They separate different parts of the book into sections that are great for players to dig into to help build characters that really feel right for the world, and of course all the information that's secret and safe for DM eyes only. That way you don't have to worry about a player seeing something they shouldn't see. There are allies and adversaries artwork cards that can be hung over your brand new custom DM screen, with artwork facing the players and info like stat blocks facing you. There are beautiful reference cards with artwork for magical items, including the vestiges of Divergence and their stat blocks, as well as information on all the new subclasses, backgrounds, and feats. You get 12 battle maps, you get maps of all of the big regional cities, and you get a gorgeous canvas map of the continent of Tal'Dorei, which frankly, I'm gonna frame. I'm someone who sometimes struggles with an imagined sense of spatial awareness, so being able to hand these things over to my players and let them handle them and use them as tools to make decisions faster and take some sense of ownership and control over their travels is just A+. You do get some jewelry with this first tier, pins and symbols from different factions like the Clasp or the Council of Tal'Dorei. You can choose to award them to players or simply use them to describe clandestine meetings with various NPCs from each of these factions. Honestly, I haven't experimented with it a lot, and I'm not sure how to maximize their effectiveness at the table. I mean, probably giving them to your players for relevant factions that they interact with or join would be the best way, but I spent so much money on these things and I want to use them as many times as possible, so I feel like, you know, my table isn't one that includes a lot of LARP, and so just letting people wear them for the time that they're at the table, I don't know if that's super interesting. So yeah, I paid a lot for these, and I just don't know what to do with them aside from showing them off or enjoying them as a fan, which certainly is a great idea. So does that make me a bad person? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a dragon with a horde who enjoys things too much. And maybe they would be helpful during session 0 as you announce different parts of Exandria and introduce new people to the world. But I guess tell me in the comments below how you would use the jewelry in these sets. For some reason, their choices on what to make into jewelry for the Tal'Dorei box kind of baffle me compared to the really top-notch choices that I feel they made for things like the soul coins in the Avernus box or the Amulet of Ravenkind or whatever it's called from the Strahd box. Like, these are really big parts of those campaigns. They will absolutely get used, and it's fun for players to be able to hold these rewards or, you know, pieces of currency in their hand. There are some pieces of currency in the Tal'Dorei box, but yeah, it's just overall a strange fit for making the game more fun. Now, making my life more fun, cool. Yeah, I'm there. I want that stuff. Probably my favorite part of opening the Tal'Dorei box were the handouts. You get wanted posters, invitations to Whitestones, a summons by the Tal'Dorei Council. I mean, these are the things I could imagine folding up and putting a wax seal on and then handing them out to groups. And it just makes it so exciting, marks milestones, makes everything more real. Like, yes, this is exactly what I paid for. All 3 of the tiers also get bonus encounters, and since they're not listed on the site, I'll tell you a little bit about them in this video. In Beyond the Falls, something is warping the minds of the lizard folk of Tormur Falls. In Guns and Glory, only the toughest combatants survive the infamous Brawler League events. In Road to Reconstruction, reports of undead attacking merchant caravans on their way to and from Whitestone threaten trade agreements. In Shadow of the Shade Barrow, there's something dark stirring within the Shade Barrow, but first, you have to get there alive to unlock the mystery. So everything I've mentioned so far is available at the Arcane tier for $249. That is a lot, but there is an additional map pack and an additional set of jewelry that you can get. The middle tier allows you to choose between one of those 2 things, and the highest tier allows you to get both. For those of you looking to enhance your Tal'Dorei setting for a little less, you could opt to pay $70 either for the map vault on its own or for the additional jewelry. So there's a lot to love here. As a critter tried and true, I absolutely do not regret going in on the Exalted tier for $349. Everything was beautiful and well made, and that being said, if I had to do it again, I probably would go in for the Awakened tier because I would choose the map vault and I would forego the additional jewelry since, as I said earlier, I'm not really sure how best to use that to enhance the experience at the table. I sort of wish that instead of jewelry, they had worked with them to put in some miniatures, but I do understand that Critical Role has licenses with WizKids and with Steamforged games, so that's probably a reason that they focus so much on the additional faction jewelry rather than giving us miniatures to use at the table. So my question to you now is, what do you think? Having seen it all, would you go all in for the Exalted tier or pick one of the lower tiers? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, press the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll know every time I upload a new video. You can also come over to Patreon and grab a seat to play D&D at my table for just $5 a month. Consider it. It's a great deal. That's all for now, everybody. I'll see you on the next quest. Bye! The adventure begins. They were always beside you, your nerdy best friends, and the DM to guide you, and they rise from the flames for the battles ahead. Villains beware, 'cause you're about to be dead. Na 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 na.